welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy. Today we're going to be doing another episode of Off the Rip. In case you don't know what Off the Rip is and you haven't been around Mr. Randy's channel for a bit or ever, welcome. Off the Rip is basically the first time you crack it open, have a pour, and that's your first impressions of the spirit libation. Normally this is something I would do off camera because of scheduling issues and whatnot. But today we're going to be doing an Irish whiskey. Now, this Drumbryne, is a blended Irish whiskey. It's elegant and smooth. I'll be the judge of that. It is a product of Ireland. I surely hope so. Now, this is a 40% ABV. I'm sure that's a J Drumbryne. Yeah, there it is. Okay, 80 proof. It is proudly distilled, blended, and aged in Ireland. I love you, Ireland. There's the back bottle. Go ahead and just put that on there for just a second. You can pause it and go back to reading it. But let's get this sucker cracked open. Mr. Randy, it's been a while since we've had an Irish. We've been all about Scotch on this channel for some time, with the occasional rolling a dice on a bourbon. So you're gonna look at that color, and you're gonna see that it is a very light. I mean, typical for, I think it's a little lighter than an Irish, but I think it's probably, well, let's get a color on it. Let's pull out Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale. Go off camera for just a second. This one's going to be difficult because it's so light. I'm probably going to say this is a pale brown, deep gold, amber. What do you think? Probably the amber. Let me get another look. Yeah, I'm going to go with, it's going to be amber. Let's get it on the nose. That's very light. That is a very, very light, very delicate nose. It smells a little bit, I don't want to use the word weaker, that's why we say delicate. It seems a bit more delicate than an average Irish whiskey. It's got a little bit of a background sweetness that's really intriguing. Let's go ahead and get it on the palate. That's interesting. Okay, so a little bit of storyline while I let this sort of settle and work its magic, if there is any. This bottle was a spur of the moment. I seen it on the shelf, have not seen it before. I know nothing about this. Everything that I know about this, you now know, except for what it smells like, what it tastes like. Let me go ahead and try and get to my notes here and see where the heck is that? There it is. $20. It was under $20. So if you've got if you got 20 quid and you're looking for a bottle, there you are. There are many other bottles I would definitely recommend over this so far, but I'm going to reserve that judgment until we're right about here. So we'll get one more on the palate. It's very light. And I don't know if delicate could be applied to the palate. I don't want to say cheap, but it definitely has characteristics of cheap Irish whiskey. Now, I have to do some research because something is telling me, because it is a blended, it's probably a sourced whiskey. This company, this guy here, he probably just bought up a bunch of old barrels that have been sitting around. There's a lot of information to how all this kind of stuff works, like how you see a company or a person have a name for the bottle without having a distillery. And it is blended. You have sourced barrels. So basically, you have one company that barrels it. They distill it. Then you have another company that barrels it. Then you have another company that bottles it. Then you have another company that buys that, and then they distribute it and sell it. Kind of like Johnny Walker. That's a prime example of what I just talked about. Johnny Walker. I'm wondering if this is like Johnny Walker stuff. Like, is it just some person that said, hey, let's slap a name on it. Let's put a brand name on it. Let's put it in the bottle and let's sell it. What they can do is you can buy barrels from these warehouses. They don't do anything else but just warehouse the barrels. Now, sometimes a little tidbit of information here while we're doing this Irish. It doesn't smell offensive. It doesn't smell nasty. It doesn't smell too weak or too light. It's just interesting. But let's say a big bottle company says, hey, look, we don't bottle anything less than 1,000 bottles. I'm just throwing that number out there. We're going to work off of that. I don't like doing hard math. So you take 1,000 bottles. The company says, we can't do anything less than 1,000. But let's say, I don't know how many barrels makes 1,000 bottles. I'll do the math later. But let's say you fall short by 25%. You can only fill 75% of 1,000 bottles, 750 bottles. That's all you can do. You can't meet their quota to make a run. So what do? You're going to have to find an independent bottler to bottle your spirit. But then you don't have that big name or whoever it is to come behind you and sell those bottles after it's bottled. So then what happens is those barrels, they sit till somebody says, hey, look, these people over here got a bunch of barrels. It goes into what? A blend. They buy those bottles. They buy those barrels. They find, what is it? 225, whatever barrels you need to make that 1,000 bottle quota or entry point into the bottlers. And boom, you got to run. That's how these kind of things work. And that is how, I don't know if that's exactly how Johnny Walker, I think Johnny Walker is so big that they can pretty much swing anything they want. They'll be like, oh, you don't have enough from over there. Well, let me look over here. Yep, here's 200 barrels. There you go. Now you got enough. I think Johnny Walker, I don't know. I have to look at it. Does Johnny Walker have their own bottling company? I'll have to look into that. So let me get a finish on this Irish and we'll wrap this up. That's got some good enough legs. It's got nice legs. I wouldn't say anything special. It's got a very like low medium or medium low viscosity. It tastes nice. It feels good in the mouth. The finish is about as the same. I would almost say it's like a through and through. It's got a light nose. It's got a light palate. And it's got a pretty light finish. So if you got 20 bucks, you're looking for something new in the Irish department, and you're not looking to be dissatisfied. I'm not dissatisfied at the moment. But again, I will reserve judgment till we get to here. Let us know in the comments what you think. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy. You have a good one.